Let's go about FKA Twigs, who is reigniting her SA lawsuit with Shia LaBeouf. Because I know Shia LaBeouf out here being messy. He out here getting in fights with people. There was a recent one where he was in his underwear in a hotel and getting in a argument with somebody. Then he was in Italy arguing. I was like, what is wrong with this boy? Like, he's literally having a mental breakdown. And unfortunately, there is literally no one out there to help get him together. He's just going through it and just, you know, what I always say, punch in the air, whatever his little rants he's on. So the British musician, well, FKA Twigs, I should say, has filed a new lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend Shia LaBeouf, alleging he is trying to enforce an unlawful non-disclosure agreement (NDA) to silence her. Now, the British musician, born Talia Debrett Barnett, who's 38, officially settled her sexual battery lawsuit against actor LaBeouf, 39, in July of 2025, following a protracted 5-year court battle. Excuse me. The lawsuit filed in 2020 brought sought 10 million in damages and alleged sexual battery, assault, and emotional distress during the couple's relationship. LaBeouf denied those claims. Well, look, he could deny it all he wanted, but we've heard some of the audio. Remember when that whole situation came out with him in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, and he was getting into it with the people claiming that these gay men touched him inappropriately, and then he was fighting them or whatever the case was, which I called bullshit on. And then there was the situation with one of his, I don't know if it was current or ex-girlfriend or girl he was dating while he was separated from his wife, Mia Goth. She posted some audio of her and him going at it, and she posted it all over social media. We played it on here. He has a reputation of being quite a character when it comes to his relationships, very hostile towards a lot of the women he's been in relationships with. So we've heard the evidence, and we've been hearing multiple women saying that you've been a nuisance towards them, kind of side-eyeing you saying you denying it, because now I'm starting to buy it. I don't think that FKA Twigs has a reason to make up that you were abusive to her in your relationship. I mean, whenever she writes her relationship songs or her song, I mean, whenever she talks about, going through stuff in her relationships, she puts it in the form of music in a lot of her songs, actually. So they said that now Twigs was represented by Matthew Rosengart. That name sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember who he's represented in the past. Claims LaBeouf has taken on the same aggressive stance in litigation that he displayed during their toxic relationship. Shia LaBeouf has tried to control Talia Barnett for the better part of a decade. Lawyers for FKA Twigs, using her real name, said in legal docs obtained and reviewed by the Daily Mail. Twiggs said that she was responding with litigation against LaBeouf after he made a secret arbitration demand last year, trying to get an exorbitant sum of money as punishment over what he called a breach of a past arrangement. LaBeouf in December demanded money after he said Twiggs breached a settlement they reached 5 years earlier, following an interview she gave to the Hollywood Reporter last fall. The Daily Mail has reached out to the attorneys, excuse me, for both parties for further comment on the story and has yet to hear back. Now, Twiggs said in legal docs that she is suing to right a wrong and also on behalf of other women who are the victims of sexual and DV, you got to use certain words, who do not have the resources to speak out and defend themselves from predators. Twiggs said that in so doing, she seeks to ensure that survivors of S word misconduct are not themselves bullied or silenced like she was by agreements that violate California law and public policy. The remarks above complain about come after the publication asked Twiggs if she felt safe in the wake of past abuses she suffered. She said, I wouldn't say I feel safe. I feel really passionate about being involved with organizations such as Sister Space and No More to help survivors in any way that I can. I think it's less about me at this point and more about looking forward, just, moving on with my life. Now, Rosengart told the Daily Mail in a statement that the legal action was taken in response to Mr. LaBeouf's attempt to bully and intimidate FKA Twigs through a frivolous and unlawful secret arbitration he filed against her in December, in which he sought to extract money from her because he probably feels like, oh, I shouldn't have to be out here paying her this money because he is who he is, when he's shown countless times that he is very dark-sided in a lot of whatever he's got going on. I know he's talking about how he suffered abuse at the hands of his father, whatever the case is, and I understand your childhood traumas, but at certain points, we got to be grown because you're pushing 40, sir. We got to put our grown man pants on, and we have to deal with a lot of the demons from our past. We can't let the demons of our past dictate who we are today and our future. But you still clearly, from what we've seen on social media with these, these constant reports over the past month and some change, that you're still going through some stuff. So it's hard for us to believe that, whatever, that FKA Twigs is making up a whole bunch of stuff about you. So they said, we are pleased to have obtained the dismissal of that case early this month, and to her great credit, and on behalf of other survivors as well, Twigs refuses to be bullied anymore. Now, Rosengart concluded that it's unusual that the case that is not about money, but about uploading and enforcing California's law and policy designed to protect survivors by nullifying illegal NDAs. Well, you shouldn't be able to. I feel like with any kind of situation, you should not be able to, if someone has abused you, whatever the case was, you should not have to sign anything to be silenced over what had happened to you. Victims should be able to speak out on whatever travesties have happened in their life or at the hands of a sibling, a parent, or a lover. So they said in the legal documents that this campaign of intimidation and abuse of the legal system denigrates not just FKA Twigs, but every survivor of sexual abuse in California. Now, Twigs initially accused the actor of subjecting her to a continuous stream of verbal and mental abuse, hence what I was telling you all the videos that I've seen in the past. I believe it. During their time dating from 2018 until early 2019 in her initial 2020 lawsuit. After Twigs filed her legal complaint in 2020, LaBeouf acknowledged to the New York Times a history of hurting the people closest to him. He said, I'm not in any position to tell anyone how my behavior made them feel. I have no excuses for my alcoholism or aggression, only rationalizations. And he's still abusing alcohol. And when we've seen when he drinks, he does become aggressive. We've seen the videos. He said, I have been abused myself and everyone, I've been abusive, to myself and everyone around me for years. I'm ashamed of that history and I'm sorry to those I've hurt. Meanwhile, that history keeps repeating itself. Now, meanwhile, LaBeouf is embroiled in further legal turmoil. He was arrested in New Orleans on February 17th on 2 counts of misdemeanor battery after allegedly getting into a bar fight. Well, it wasn't alleged. We saw the videos. Why do I keep having to bring up video evidence in this story? He was then arrested later in February on a misdemeanor simple battery charge, which is reportedly related to the same incident. Now, they said the Transformer star arrest could have potentially scuttled his plans earlier this month to travel to Rome, where his father, Jeffrey, was being baptized, but LaBeouf was granted permission to travel to Italy by a judge. And he went over to Italy and was being a nuisance there. We've seen the videos. Be bringing up more videos in regards to this story. So that's the latest on this story. I will definitely keep you abreast of it as it develops. And Miss Twigs, Talia, do your thing. I'm a fan of her. I like her music. I just told you I worked her show. It was a great show. The one that was at Madison Square Garden. She definitely puts on a great show. She's a talented girl. Great songs, great performances, all of that stuff. I didn't even know the voguing section of that tour was specific. I mean, of the show was specifically only happened at the New York show because she brought out a lot of the ballroom kids from New York to do like a little segment. I thought it was the whole tour, but apparently it was just that one night situation. But yeah, she definitely gives a good show. She's a talented girl, and it's unfortunate when good talented people get put through the ringer by crazy ass abusive people. And it's sad because Shia LaBeouf is such an amazing talent. He's a good actor, and it's just he's wasting a lot of his potential on letting his demons get the best of him. So hopefully, like we mentioned about Tiger Woods earlier, y'all little demons that y'all out here fighting, hopefully you get a better reign of them, get a better, greater hold of them, and you just figure out how to get your shit together. Just get your shit together is basically what I'm just going to say on that. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.